Welcome to Turo University, or Layn Turo University. My name is Conrad Layn. I'm gonna share a huge strategy that you're gonna wanna take down. It's super simple. When you're calling in about an issue or a matter, you're calling in to Turo, which I've done plenty of times, and it happens, part of business. You wanna essentially make sure you do one reservation at a time and even one problem at a time. But worst case, keep it at least one reservation per time. Let me explain this. So when Turo reps, and you probably are not aware of this, when they take notes, they find notes and it gets pinned to their internal accounts that you have no access to. Oftentimes, it could be a total disaster where when you say you have an issue with a reservation and then you link in another reservation and then another. I've done this where I have a lot of cars. There was a time I had 25 cars and like 20 of them had an issue on it, right? I have 30 cars now, but the thing is that this is what happened where I went one by one, spent a long time on each on the call, which was fine. But the issue was when I had to go back and give proof and I had to go back. It was all mixed into this one big snowball of like problems with like 20 different cars. Absolute disaster. What would have been smarter, what would have been a little more time consuming, is to actually, when I do one reservation with whatever problems occur with that car, say thank you so much, Mr. or Mrs. Turo Rep, and hang up and everything. And then at that point, call back for the next reservation or next car, etc., next issue. When you do everything together, it makes it harder because what happens is if you have to, there's been times where, say I was honored and paid maybe, what to say, $150 cleaning fee, but they disputed it, and then Turo, for whatever reason, they took the $150 back out, so I had to go back and prove, no, this person messed the car up, and I had to supply more proofs, more documentation, etc. But going through all these reservations, they have to go through so much, so you're making your life harder in the long term. You're making Turo reps' life harder in the long term because they have to go through which reservation number it is. You did like 20 different cars or 15 different cars or 5 different cars. Heck, even if you have 2 cars, keep it one per each one. Don't mix so many different cars and reservations with each other because it makes a snowball effect, which is not beneficial to you and makes it very time consuming. Just in case if, for example, the guest doesn't agree with you or is angry at you, and maybe Turo rep will honor that. You have to go back and give additional proof, and it makes it harder for them to locate that such and such reservation or that car. Very, very important to keep it separate, each reservation for each problem, and separate. When you get done with that, move on to the next one, and you end that call. And the reason why you don't stay on the line, even if they say that they're ending it, they're typically lumped together on one call. Remember, the calls are recorded, so this is used against you. So as a tour host, you want to keep everything limited to each reservation, to each car. Hang up the phone, call again. Now you have, instead of 20 different cars, for example, lumped into one call, you have 20 different calls, 20 different documentation from different reps documenting on your behalf. It's much more clean that way. No different than monitoring and managing your taxes. You want to do your best to keep this all updated. That's how you do it. Anyways, like, subscribe, share. Love you guys. Welcome to Conrad Layn Turo University, Layn University. Ciao.